The 2011 Nike Mags, which used to retail at $179, now resell at about $15,000. Now that's above 8,200% above its original value. On February 2020, Supreme dropped a cookie in collaboration with Oreo for $8, and surprise, surprise, it wasn't long before people started reselling it on eBay for not 10, not 100, not 1,000, but up to 4,000 times its original price. One listing even went to a whopping 92,000 before the auction was removed. Clearly, there is something very special about this resale industry. No, seriously, what business model has a profit percentage of up to 10,000%? The market for resale sneakers and streetwear in North America alone is estimated to be $2 billion, according to the investment firm Cohen, and projected to reach $6 billion by 2025. So, here are the basics. Big brands launch limited pairs of super hype sneakers in collaboration with hip-hop stars, pop stars, athletes, and other celebrities. People go crazy to get one of those at retail price, and now, here's the fun part, they sell them at super high prices to other sneakerheads and collectors. Sneaker reselling culture is not something new. Just to give you guys a little background, the sneakerhead subculture originated in the United States during the late 1980s and had gone global by the end of the 1990s. Hardcore sneakerheads would go to outlets, sneaker events, parties, and gatherings in search of rare, dead stock, vintage, and limited edition shoes to invest in. Now, someone quickly realized that the sneaker industry had loads of issues. Josh Luber, a self-proclaimed sneakerhead who was playing with data in IBM as a strategic consultant, noticed that eBay was the biggest marketplace for sneaker reselling. But Luber never liked the way sneakers were priced on eBay, as the same sneakers were sold for different prices in different listings, which he thought was unfair, as there was no one single price for the same commodity. So in 2012, Luber started a side project and named it Campless. They defined Campless as a sneakerhead's data company and even called themselves the Kelley Blue Book for sneakers. So basically, Campless was a full-fledged sneaker reselling guide for everyone, resellers, buyers, and sneakerheads alike. Luber, who was also a data geek, started analyzing eBay auctions and used sophisticated statistical analysis to measure key data points like average price, volume, volatility, sellers, and the whole sneaker resale marketplace in general. He analyzed over 11 million eBay auctions to provide many statistics about sneakers. Fast forward to 2016, Campless had become the go-to website for sneaker resellers and other sneaker enthusiasts. Now, Josh wanted to solve more problems that he saw in the industry with his analysis. He knew there was definitely a need for an organized online store for this market. He had this crazy idea of creating a unique, regulated, and trustable stock market for sneakers. He believed that sneakers can be treated and sold like stocks, and their prices can be determined like share prices, depending upon the demand and the supply. In an interview with Rutgers, he said that all they really did was copy how the stock market works and apply it to new commodities. But it turned out that he wasn't the only one with this idea. Dan Gilbert, who's the co-founder of Quicken Loans and founder of Rock Ventures, who also owns a majority shares of the NBA team, the Cleveland Cavaliers, also had a similar idea, but he knew nothing about sneakers. So in 2015, Dan invested an undisclosed amount in Campless.com, and basically, Dan partnered with Josh and two other entrepreneurs, Chris Kaufman and Greg Schwartz, to convert Campless into StockX. And that's how StockX, the stock market of things, was born. So technically, StockX is an e-commerce platform redefining the future of retail. The platform is designed as a stock market for things. on which sellers can list excellent condition items and let the market of buyers determine the appropriate price. StockX began as a shoe reselling site, but it's expanded into additional ventures and has begun releasing products directly onto its site. Roughly 70% of StockX's merchandise is currently sneakers, followed by about 20% streetwear and about 5% watches and handbags. StockX only sells authentic sneakers that are unworn and in their original box. It's said that the new funding around involving investors, which include DST Global, General Atlantic, GGV Capital, GV, and Battery Ventures, valued the company at more than $1 billion. It will use the investment to expand internationally, particularly in Europe and Asia, and to add more product categories like collectible toys and open stores in key markets. Among its new investors are Carly Kloss, as well as DJ Steve Aoki, Don C., Eminem, Paul Rosenberg, Mark Wahlberg, Scooter Braun, Steve Case, and Tim Armstrong. So here's how StockX works. The seller has the option to sell a specific model and size instantly at the highest price that the buyer is willing to pay, which is also known as the highest bid. Or ask for the amount higher than the highest bid or higher than the offer made by the buyer. The buyer also has an option either to buy a specific product at the lowest price that the seller is willing to sell that product, or ask for a lower price than the seller. So if the buyer places the order at the seller's lowest asking price without bidding, his order will start processing, and the authentication process will start, followed by shipping and delivery. And if the buyer has asked for a lower price than the seller's price, he would have to wait until a seller accepts his offer. After acceptance, the deal is done, after which the seller has 2 days to ship the product to a StockX authentication center, where after proper authentication, the product is shipped to the customer. For the seller, StockX charges a commission ranging between 9 to 14%, depending on the category of goods sold on its site, and a 3% processing fee. And from the buyers, it charges a processing fee along with shipping charges, which go up to about $13.95. So StockX solves every problem that sneaker shoppers used to face, starting from authenticity. It was one of the biggest issues with eBay. You just had to blindly trust the seller and believe you're buying an authentic pair and not a fake one. StockX built a unique and hard way of spotting out deep fakes and copies. They hired other sneakerheads and enthusiasts and started comparing fake ones with the real ones. They invented their own process of verification and even created a career path consisting of different types and levels of authenticators. The smell is one of the 25 to 30 indicators that they can use to distinguish a legit shoe from a cheap knockoff. About 3% of the products that arrive at StockX that are fake are returned to the seller. This army of dozens of merchandise authenticators forms the backbone of StockX and its effort to become the world's leading resale marketplace for scarce consumer goods. The second is transparency, minimalism, and efficiency in the whole experience. The sellers and buyers stay anonymous, and there's only one listing for each product, but the stock is supplied by different sellers depending on availability at that time. The seller doesn't have to upload any photo or description of the product, as most products are already listed, and you just need more stock. Both the StockX app and website have a clean, minimal, and on-point interface, which takes the whole experience to another level. Another problem that StockX tackles is the whole chaos created at the store at every new release when limited edition sneakers are re-released. People camp in line for days to get their hands on a pair. And the opportunity to make a quick profit can lead some people to bribe the store workers. It can even turn into violence. In 2015, a Brooklyn teenager was shot in his foot for cutting a line. So now the question arises, why do the companies allow such platforms to exist and the reselling culture to exist? Well, no one can give a better answer than Josh himself. He says that the sneaker brands are careful to control supply to their advantage. Resale may not profit them directly, and that's a market the likes of Nike could kill off overnight simply by re-releasing more pairs of each style. But rather, it props up an artificial commodity market, with Facebook-level hyped IPO every single weekend when new shoes or a new commodity is released. As far as the future of StockX is concerned, the company's goal is to work directly with retailers and have products open on StockX in an initial public offering of sorts. The belief that this would provide more pricing stability and that allowing average consumers access when new products were released could help brands expand their customer bases. In 2019, they tested this with the Adidas Campus 80s StockX IPO, where Adidas released 999 pairs directly into StockX. Over 3 days, they received nearly 10,000 total bids on the 999 sneakers that were available. Thank you very much for watching our video. Make sure to hit the like button and tell us in the comments your favorite sneaker model. Also, subscribe to our channel for more awesome content.